It's a new year and a new you. Let's talk about how to buy real estate this year. Happy New Year. Let's talk about how you can buy real estate this year. No more sitting on the sidelines. Let's get you buying real estate. Let's talk about the plan. If you're new to the channel, I'm Dave from Investor Mel and Dave. My wife and I have now purchased over 260 units in 5 different countries: Canada, US, Costa Rica, Mexico, and Dominican Republic. We are the proud founders of the Action Family Mentoring Program, and we've been able to quit our jobs in our 30s, all due to real estate. So today we're going to talk about what you need to do to build a real estate portfolio now. All right, so I've got the whiteboard here with me. We're going to go through 9 different steps. The first one is goals. Goal setting is so important, okay? So be very clear. What do you want to do? In what time frame do you want to do it? So when Mel and I were looking, we wanted to quit our jobs, right? I was a full-time firefighter. She worked at our local college. We wanted to exit our employment, right? We were T4 employees, W2 employees, and we wanted portfolio income. So we made it very clear. Let's buy a lot of assets in high cash flowing areas so that we can literally wean off the job and have the assets there producing income for us. Okay, so we were very clear about that, and I want you to be very clear about your goals and give yourself a time frame. That's a clock, by the way. Give yourself a time frame, because if it's open-ended, probably never gonna happen, or you're just gonna take that much more time. If you say, let's make it up. Let's say you say, my goals this year is to buy 3 properties by the end of the year. Okay, let's get going. You've got 12 months to do so, okay? So let's get your time frame and your goals going so that you have a clear outline, okay? Education. This is where you learn how to do things properly, okay? So that's why Mel and I have our Action Family Mentoring Program. We have over 2,100 members at the time of this video being recorded. We show people to do just like us, how to buy income producing assets with other people's money and creative financing. Okay, our favorite is seller financing, right? Agreement for sale, seller financing. We also use in Canada, RRSP mortgages. We also in the States do 401k mortgages, okay? Retirement funds. And then we also use promissory notes and agreement for sales, okay? So there's a lot of education that needs to go into buying real estate, because real estate is not an in and out. Like, it's not like a stock where you can go buy, I don't know, a $10 stock, and you don't like how it's performing, you got to get out of it, you can sell it right away. If you buy the wrong deal, you're stuck in that deal. And this is hundreds of thousands of dollars, if not millions of dollars. So the education component is so important. Like it's probably at the top, because Mel and I still have 4 coaches, right? You want to get into real estate, you want to become a millionaire, right? Probably from real estate. You should probably be following someone who's been there, done that. Okay, and if you're interested in the Action Family Mentoring Program, send us a DM, right? We're all over social media. Send us a DM and we can chat further. But education is one of the, the first priorities here. I'm putting an asterisk. Locations. Okay, you heard in the intro, Mel and I do this in 5 different countries, okay? So for example, in Canada, we're primarily in Ontario and Alberta. In the US, we're primarily in Ohio, Texas, and Florida. In Costa Rica, we are in like Cocoa Beach area, just north of Tamarindo. Dominican Republic, we're in Punta Cana. And in Mexico, we're in Tulum area. So locations are important. And what I mean, it's not just, hey Dave, I think I want to invest in XYZ area or market. Well, there's more that goes into it, okay? When Mel and I look at things, when we're looking at a new province or a new state or a new city, we'll start to think, okay, is it an investor-friendly, landlord-friendly in province or state? That's going to be at the forefront of our decision making. And yes, I said Ontario. I know it's not the most landlord or investor friendly, but that's where we had started out, okay? So when we picked Alberta, why did we pick Alberta? When we picked Florida, when we picked Texas? Because those provinces and states are investor friendly and landlord friendly. Okay, so that's how we reverse engineered our locations. Then once you're in a province or state that you like, what are you looking for? Are you looking for huge market appreciation, or are you looking for huge cash flow? Okay, so when I picked Edmonton in Alberta, for example, it's a market that will have a lot of market appreciation, in my opinion, from what we're seeing. You can also cash flow as well, and the price per door is relatively good. Okay, when we picked Orlando, Florida, For our short-term rentals, why did we pick that area? Again, the state is investor-friendly, landlord-friendly. The area has a good short-term rental, Disney World, who doesn't, that's not going away. So that's how we pick our locations, okay? So very, very important. Power team, this is the big five, okay? There are 5 people that you need in your power team. Back to the video. So first one is lawyer/attorney. Very, very important. Accountant/CPA, number 2. Mortgage brokers, number 3, right? Who's going to finance your deals? Creative financing, right? Investor-focused mortgage brokers. Insurance providers, investor-focused insurance providers. As part of our Action family, we actually have a group rate. In my opinion, it's the best coverage for the best price. Mel and I have all our stuff in this group rate. The last one, real estate agents. Not all real estate agents are created equal. Some of them don't know how to do seller financing, creative financing. Some of them go, oh, I don't want to deal with that. It doesn't work here. So your power team is very important. Now, let me throw a little wrench here, okay? Or a little fork in the road. Let's say if you're Canadian, I'm Canadian. Mel and I live in North Bay, Ontario, Canada. Yes, we invest in 5 countries from my house here in Canada. It's different as a Canadian investing in the US, right? You need cross-border professionals. So the power team is not just those 5. There's also the cross-border professional, right? As a Canadian investing in the US, I have a different structure than a US citizen investing in the US. So I have cross-border accountants as well to make sure that I'm being compliant with the IRS and the CRA, and that both countries are talking to each other. Okay, so very, very important. And whether you're a Canadian or US citizen, it doesn't matter because we can help you. But for example, let's say you're a US citizen and you want to invest in Costa Rica, like Mel and I are doing. There's international accountants, international people that we need to introduce you to make sure that you're compliant and making sure that you're being efficient. Okay, so power team is huge. And this has been some secret sauce in Mel and I's portfolio. I don't pretend to be the smartest at everything. Okay, and Mel says the same thing as well, is instead we hire the right people to cover us, to make sure that we have the right legal structure and accounting structure and all that. Okay, so again, a power team is so important. Cannot stress that enough. Offers. Okay, you have to make some offers. And again, you're gonna have to kiss some frogs. You're gonna have to put some offers in. You're gonna have to rebuttal. Sometimes people are not gonna like your offers. You're gonna have to go back and forth. You're gonna have to negotiate, especially if you're looking for creative financing. Sometimes, for example, it might be, hey, I'm looking for seller financing, right? I'm looking for seller financing and I've underwritten the deal and I can only give you interest only, right? IO, interest only. Interest only versus, right, PI, principal and interest. We actually have videos on this, okay? So when you're putting offers, you're negotiating, you're trying to get that creative financing, other people's money deal going, you might have to kiss a few frogs. It is what it is. And yeah, you'll have to put some offers out there, okay? So be comfortable putting offers in. Mel and I always have, how do I say this? We always have a bunch of irons in the fire because we're always putting offers in because sometimes they don't pan out. Right? You will have some sunk costs. You will have some deals that fall through that you thought, oh, this was going to happen for sure. You know how many times we've had deals fall through because out of our control, financing wasn't what we thought it was going to be. The seller ends up backing out. The income and expenses that we looked at, the deal wasn't what we thought. So when they gave us the income and expenses in the beginning, it had a certain level of income. It had a certain level of expenses. And then when we asked for the last 12 months of bills, it's like, hey, wait a second. This isn't what you told me. How come I didn't know about this? Or, hey, you said the rents were this, but when I got the leases, right? So things will fall through. And I've seen people do this and they waste time and they get frustrated and then they say real estate doesn't work. What I'm getting at here is if you only have, one deal going on and you've got all your eggs in that basket and that deal falls through, 100% of your deals just fell through. If you got 2 or 3 deals going on, a couple irons in the fire, one deal falls through, there's 20 or 30% of what you got going on. You still got other deals going on. So put offers out there. Again, they have to make sense, but don't be scared to put offers out. Acquisition, okay, acquiring properties. This is a huge stage, right? When you're acquiring the deals, you're closing the deals. You're finding property management, right? You're making sure that the deal closes, the tenants are managed, that the asset is managed, that everything is going on. So acquisition is a huge part. Now, I just put one word, but it's a lot of moving pieces. Now, there are renovations to be done, okay? So just things like that. Acquisition is a huge one. The lift. This is a big part of the asset. So what Mel and I like to do is we like to buy income producing assets with other people's money and creative financing, okay? The lift is how we pay everyone back. So we take an asset here, we lift it in valuation and we bring it up to here, okay? We do so through either renovations, right? I'm not talking about gutting the place. Have we done gut jobs? Yes, we have videos and walkthroughs of other buildings that we've done. Make sure to check those out. Sometimes, or not sometimes, most of the times what we love to do is just find that low hanging fruit where it just needs some TLC. You know, you walk around and need some paint, maybe some flooring, maybe kitchen countertop, but nothing too substantial, right? So just that renovation, you know, maybe a little bit of lipstick, and then you're able to get a lift because once it's renovated and it's nicer, again, certain budgets in certain areas, is it an A-class asset? Is it a C-class asset? Is it in an A neighborhood or a C neighborhood? So all of that goes into the renovation and the budget as well. But now you're able to attract a higher rent, which will also help the other part that helps you lift a building, the NOI, net operating income, which is short for all the income minus all the expenses, not including your mortgage, right? Because everyone gets a different mortgage. So all your income minus all your expenses, not including a mortgage, is your NOI. So if you increase your NOI, you also increase your lift, which the lift, once you've lifted the building in evaluation, this is what you do next. You refinance it. You refinance the asset at a higher valuation, which means you get more money back. You pay back, right? Remember we have done creative financing? You pay back all the creative financing, seller financing, retirement, registered fund mortgages, promissory notes, all of that. You pay all of that out. Now you're left with the asset and now you have the refinance. You've lifted it, okay? With that refinance, tax-free event. The refinance is a tax-free event, okay? Which is beautiful. If you sold, right? If you sold in Canada, your capital gains no matter what. If you sell in the US, unless you do a 1031 exchange, right? You're gonna be taxed. But if you refinance, it is a tax-free event. So what do you do then? You've got an asset, you've paid everyone out, now you've got a pool of money to do something with. You repeat, you go do it again. You take that money, you go buy income producing assets and you make your money. Make money. Your money should be having babies and making you money all the time. That's what Mel and I do. And we have, again, we're in 5 countries now. So as you can imagine, in Canada, we have multiple corporations. In the US, we have multiple LLCs. And every time they refinance, every time they get more pools of funds, they go buy more assets. So, you know, it becomes like a big web, right? Of more LLCs, more corporations, more assets. So literally, you just repeat this. And then every single year, this is your New Year's real estate plan, you can look at the exact same thing. So Mel and I, we've been doing this for over 25 combined years. We do the same thing every year. We look at our goals. What are we gonna do this year? What are we gonna acquire? Where do we wanna go? Do we wanna add on a 6th country? Do we want to venture more down, you know, this avenue or whatever? So that's what we do, and this is what I suggest you do for your New Year's real estate plan. Thank you so much for staying right till the end of the video. If you like this and want more videos like this, A, subscribe to the channel, and B, click the next video. I'm Dave, and I'll see you there.